Welcome back to Valley Boys TCGCK here, and we continue to the final round of our locals box tourney here, and I am going first with my purple. We just dropped the Rotting Swamp and get us started, and we are going against a green Gale deck. Now the last round we ran against a green, what I thought was Gale, was more like green good stuff, a little bit of mix of some Swift Spirits and things like that, but this one is a Gale deck, and it's a very interesting matchup. So here we see the Butterfly come down straight into the Swole Totem Owl, and he swings in and just goes full aggression turn one. So very interesting turn, very strong start for the green player. So we're going to respond by just deadly balancing first, forcing them to choose who they want to get rid of. And then the other one, we can just pop it with the Beldegor. So now we're stabilizing here. We're getting back some of the board state here. Feeling a little better about it. Not having to worry about almost being completely wiped out turn two. And he drops the Strong Draw. Such a good card for this set. I really like Strong Draw, and I'm trying it out in the 2-cost yellow rush. I think the trashing is definitely going to help get God Beast online faster, so I really like Strong Draw. This set definitely helps a lot of decks out. And we see he drops throws the Emperor in the trash, which is interesting. So we set a Burst, and now we're getting the Cavalier out to get some more card draw. And then a Camelot Knight. So now we got a nice wide board set. I'm always iffy on pushing too much because I've made the mistake of getting over aggro and then you give them too many resources. But here he has nothing on board, so it's really hard to read. I'm thinking maybe he has too many big spirits in hand. So we just check one and leave it there. Because Camelot Knight's not really something you want to defend with. It's really meant for attacking. And then Beldegor, of course, is the first one we want to block with. Beldegor is the one we want to get back in the trash because with our Cavalier on hand, we'll just bring him back and recur him there. So we see the Hurricane Highlands come down already. And then that's it. He ends his turn. So Hurricane Highlands definitely sets off some alarms to be very cautious going forward because he can just start core ramping really fast soon. So we decide to continue going wide. We move over. We get the Nemesis out. And depending on what he has, I think the best play here is probably swing Beldegor, then pop Beldegor with Nemesis so that we can get some more card draw off. So it looks like that's what we're going for here. Beldegor swings first. And then we swing the Nemesis to use the effect to get rid of Beldegor, and now we can get 2 card draw with the effect. Actually 3 card draw with the Rotting Swamp on board. So that's a really good play there to get Beldegor in the trash, so that way if we block with the Cavalier and it dies, we get Beldegor right back anyway, and we get 3 draw off of that. So that's what works so well. Nemesis and the Rotting Swamp are a very nice combo, and then we just decide to go ahead and try to trip. Yep, we trip the Ice Shield, and we're sitting okay here. We still have the Cavalier that we can block with, and the Cavalier hopefully will die and then recur the Beldegor. I think that's the play we're trying to go for here, depending on what he brings out. Just leaving our 1 blocker up. So we see the Black Huntsman Schottenjäger already come out. The Creepy Cat is on board, and that's going to get some ramping thanks to having Gale and the Highlands on board. He sets another burst. Chances are that's probably another Ice Shield to help stall us out. Now, I think in this situation, we don't necessarily have to block because Beldegor won't really do anything for us here. So instead we deadly balance, get rid of that cat off the board. So here we're playing a very removal heavy game, trying to keep him from going too wide or getting too many. With that very aggressive first turn, we're trying to keep his spirits to a minimum. So here we see the Demo Bones. I mentioned it earlier. I think I like Demo Bones better than I like the Elemental Spirits. He can actually attack with 1 core, and I don't feel bad popping him with Nemesis. Demo Bones, and it's kind of a cool card. I like his art. I like his characterization. So we go ahead, swing in, and of course we add another Absolute Ice Shield there. So now we've got a really... I think our opponent's just breaking this game. He just has too many magic cards in hand. We see a Swamurai come down, so there we got a Spirit on board, something he can block with. But he's just a little overwhelmed. He does not have enough draw this turn. He did not see his pieces. I think putting the that Void Lord Big Bird into trash early on probably hurt him more than anything. So instead of swinging in with the Curse Spirit, we decided to just swing in with Nemesis. We can remove the 2 cores. He did not core up the Swamurai, and he realized that a little late. He had the cores to survive that, but instead we go ahead and pop him. He puts the Thorn Prison and then gets to Dream Bomb. So that actually ends our turn, because since we popped one of ours, we only had a few spirits on board. He Dream Bombs away the Nemesis, and then Thorn Prisons my other 2. So definitely a good turn for him. It helped stall me out from me going lethal, because he did not have the Ice Shield. So now he is really searching. We've seen double strong draw there. So we see the Ice Shield. He basically needs to get Ice Shield and his Big Bird on board. It's not going to be good. He's counting up the cores to see if he can survive doing that. And he's going to have to toss 2 of these. He needs to keep at least 1 spirit, so he's got to drop the Big Bird, and I think looks like he's keeping the Ant-Man Pilgrim. I believe that's what that is. Yeah. The Ant Pilgrim. There we go. And I think I just gave him the forewarning here. You might want to core that up just to be on the safe side. Oh, no, for the Highlands effect. I think we mentioned in order to get the Highlands, he has to come down with Gale, so he had to be cored up. And he had the cores anyway. It's safer for him to have the more cores, because I'm going to try to remove them as we did with the Swamurai. So now he's got something to block and an Ice Shield, so he can survive another turn depending on what we do here. And he decides to put down the Sanctuary. So in order for us to win here, we have to remove that from the board somehow. And then we should be able to swing in, because that 1 block means he'll be able to Ice Shield us right here. So we have to find a way to get rid of that. He did Dream Bomb away our Nexus, so we're deciding to just play the Nexus. He doesn't have enough resources in hand, so we don't necessarily have to push too hard, but we can if we want to. So we go ahead and core up, and we get another little Camelot Knight out. We swing with the Curse unit, and so here he's going to Ice Shield and block, and that's going to exhaust his whole hand. So that should secure us next turn, depending on what he draws. We see the Tokiwa come down. That's an interesting... That's something I feel like he wished he saw earlier, because yes, he can bring it out, he can core it up, he can ramp from the Highlands, but with nothing else in hand, he's not going to be able to really block out the next turn. He's not going to be able to do much to stop me from swinging next turn. He needed an Ice Shield and the block. But see, now that he's out of resources, it's pretty much GG. So he goes ahead and swings in, because he can have the Gale, but we Feral Slash him, so we can get rid of that Highlands a little late. The Feral Slash was set early so that we can get rid of Highlands early on, but never had the opportunity to, because we kind of kept stalling him out. And so here I think we're already set. We're just coring ourselves up, getting our Nemesis out in case we want to do something else, but we decided just to swing, and that is game 1. So rough start for green. He was a little bit bricky. So here we are on game 2, and green goes first, and the Highlands comes down at the start of the turn, so he is ready to go. So we're going to drop an Impaler Forest, another good complementary Nexus for Nemesis, I would say. So we're both setting up to move forward, both going Nexus turn 1. He sets a burst, and we see the Owl come down, which will let him core up with the Highlands, then move some cores back off. Just really trying to manage resources, see what he wants to do, if he's going to summon something else, and he decides just to go in with the aggro turn. We decide just to take that from life, basically get ourselves a little extra core ramp. We don't really want to, we're okay taking the early damage because we do want to core up a bit, and it looks like we have a Mordred in hand. We could probably, I think we have enough cores to do the Mordred thing, so yep, we summon the Cavalier. Interesting, and that'll trigger his Starblessed draw, so he's seeing that Starveless Straw, he needs the card draw. And so, oh, we have the Beldegor. There we go. So Beldegor will come down and take care of the Totem Owl, our little swole twig owl. And we're going to try to go in a little aggro here. We swing in and... Oh, no, we don't go. We just do the chip damage. And well, Beldegor is something we want for blocking because we want it there to get popped, get in the trash, and get some extra value off of it. And we see the Tokiwa come down, getting some ramping. So already Highlands is paying off. That turn 1 Highlands is already ramped. Was that 3 cores now between the Tokiwa and the owl? And we see another owl come down, getting him another ramp. So yeah, this is where Green Gale can get so kind of crazy. It's just the amount of ramping they can do if they get that Highlands out early is just pretty ridiculous. So he's checking in how high my spirit is, and we're deciding if we want to, how we want to deal with it. I think we take the block. Yeah, we definitely go with the block. We want Beldegor in the trash. That way, next turn around, we can get Beldegor out to get rid of something, and then we take the chip damage there. Don't think we've seen a Ice Shield yet, or if we have, we just haven't set it. But he is exhausted, so here's a perfect time to get Mordred out. And there we see Mordred comes down. We remove 2 cores from one of his exhausted spirits. We can go for the... Yeah, I would go for Toki. There we go, yeah. So we definitely wanted to take Toki out because we can swing and finish Toki off. Yes, he can bring it right back. He can recur it, but that's totally fine because the owl is what we want to block and have Cavalier die to so that it brings Beldegor back and pops the owl. So it'll work out fine. So here we swing in to get rid of Tokiwa. Little baby Toki. And then he dream bombs us right away. Only to get rid of our Nexus though. He doesn't have enough cores to get rid of any of our spirits. And so right here he remembers, oh, I need... Oh, I guess he doesn't remember. Oh, no, it's because he doesn't have the right cards in hand to get Toki back out this turn, but he does have enough cores to drop our Heavenly Emperor, Fang Wang, or Big Chicken. So Big Chicken is on board, ramping him 3 cores. Jeez, yeah, just... When this card first came out, you know, 10 drops seemed like a lot, but seeing what it could do, seeing how much Hurricane Highlands helps ramp, is pretty crazy. So we decided to core theft to take the 1 core off of Totem so that Totem can't swing in, and then he doesn't have enough cores to do the double damage. He needs to be level 3 to trash another core from life, but he does get us down to 2 and does put us in a little bit of a predicament here. So we core up, of course. We decide to get Cavalier out. See, we do have the Ice Shield, so we should probably set... Yeah, there we go. Ice Shield is set. Try to survive another turn as long as he doesn't get up to level 6 and attack life. We're going to have to block. Unfortunately, we don't have a way. We had to use that drain, that core drain early. So even though we're swinging here, we remove 1 core, yes, but it's not going to do much. Get him down to 2 life. And we have to decide... I think the best course would be to attack because he's going to have Gale anyway. He's going to suspend or exhaust my spirits, and there's his first Ice Shield. He's going to trigger his Ice Shield and take turn back. So we have Beldegor and trash, and of course we have our 4 cost here. So he pays the Soul Core end of turn to get Tokiwa back. So we know Tokiwa is coming back here to get more core ramp coming down. Here he cores up Big Chicken, which is the right play, and then drops Tokiwa to again get more Highlands ramping going, and then he needle shots us. That might do it because now we don't have a way to block him. We definitely need a way to block him, and he already has it cored up at 6 cores so that he can go for that death turn. And so here we have to get a little creative. So we clarify it's a while attacking. So we take off one core because he didn't core it up past the 6. And again, this is one of the mistakes I think he realized, is that he had the spirit cores, why not just leave it on the spirits? So I was able to core him under the 6 cost so that he didn't get that second damage, and we were able to ice shield. Now, that's how we judge ruled it, is that if we remove the cores during the attack, it doesn't get the double, because it's a while attacking, not one attacking, so I guess it's a constant checking effect. So here we're just going to try to go wide and try to protect ourselves, but this whole board has Gale, so it's kind of tricky to get around. We're going to Thorn Prison here so that we can swing, and then he suppressions. We thought we'd be able to go to game. We didn't. But we were able to get Beldegor out from the trash thanks to getting Boris. Boris, that 7 costs Immortal, is so good with Nemesis. I only play it as a 1-of, but this way Nemesis can self-pop and then he can recur himself. And so now he's got the suppression out. We can't attack anymore. And really, this is going to be kind of GG's, because he's going to swing in with Big Bird. We're going to be forced to block, and then it'll exhaust the other 3, and then Tokiwa can just take game. But he flips the script around, and this is where we're hurting now, because as you see, we have no cards left in hand. He hits the strong draw, kind of cycling through. So my thought would be he would go with the big chicken first to exhaust everything. Again, he's removing cores. I don't see why you need him in reserve, especially against purple. You want to just leave as much on, because even if we remove him, he goes to reserve anyway. But he swings a Tokiwa first, so we decide, hey, let's go ahead and block, or not block that, take that from life. That way we still have the blocks and board up. He was not expecting that. So then he has to go, and then he flashes in Swamurai. And so that is going to call it, because we're going to block with 1, and then the rest are going to get exhausted with Gale 3, and then Swamurai swings for game. Such a good swift comeback there. I was not expecting that Swamurai, and we didn't have anything to remove it. So here we go to game 3. We are 1-1, and we just drop the Demo Bones turn 1 and pass turn. And we see Matt Butterfly come down, Ant Pilgrim come down, and oh, that hurts. He sends 2 Thorn Prisons and a Hurricane Highlands to the bottom of the deck. Good for us, but that definitely hurts him. That is a really bad whiff with the Ant Pilgrim. And our turn, we just grab a core and then pass turn. We have nothing that we want to play this turn, so we're playing it kind of passive. We're being very cautious here. You see him get the Totem Owl out and then drop a burst, and then he swings in with Ant-Man to start chipping away. Now we have some magic in hand we could use, but we decide to just go ahead and take the damage, and then he ends turn there. So now we have a Suspended Spirit, so this is a perfect time for a Beldegor or a, yep, there we see it, there's the Beldegor coming down, get rid of the Ant. And then we just pass turn again. Yeah, we're going to play very passive this time. We don't want to give him too much. He can ramp himself up a lot, especially if he sees the Highlands. He has not seen the Highlands yet. So here we go. He brings out the totem. We take it from damage, and then take it from life, and then we trip the Ferraro Slash. Get rid of that owl, and then he wants to. He had 1 shiny and 1 non-shiny. So I was like, you can put the shiny, keep the shiny on board. It doesn't matter. Next turn, we're gonna pop it anyway. So we let him bring it on board just so we can have a shiny card on board. But then we ended up dropping the Mordred and getting rid of it anyway. Then Mordred swings and gets rid of the Butterfly. So now we're in a good state, because yes, he's got some chip damage on us and he's got some cores there, but we let him kind of throw his hand out so that we could remove the board. And now this is where we try to make the comeback. So we've removed his whole board. We've got him in a rough spot where he's kind of spent everything and he has no more reductions on board. and now we just go wide and we threaten lethal essentially. So we can swing in Demo Bones, swing in the Mordred. We want Beldegor is probably the last one we swing, because if that is an Ice Shield, we want to keep Beldegor for blocking, and then yeah, there it is. We trips the Ice Shield, so we get to keep Beldegor up for the block, so we can get it into the trash. And so he pays the full 10 cost to get Heavenly Emperor out. And cores it up a little bit. So if he swings, we're going to go ahead and block with that Beldegor to get it already in the grave. And there's the swing, so we should be blocking with Beldegor, and we should be in good position here because he does not have a burst set. He doesn't have anything to block with. He could flash in a Spirit, I guess, and then Ice Shield. Well, no, he doesn't even have the cores for Ice Shield, so we're in a good position here. We can hold on to our magic. We're contemplating going in with magic to remove him, but I think it's best to hold on to use him defensively. And let's see if we can end the game here. So we swing in with Lamorak, and then Demo Bones takes it. He had nothing to stop us there. So that is it. We take the game. We take the win. So much fun tonight. Green Gale is very scary. As you saw, it can ramp up crazy. So that's the game. That's the tourney. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys come back next time.